Good evening and welcome to my darlings distractions Thanksgiving edition. Everybody is here. We all know you've been waiting for this Thanksgiving episode. It is my favorite holiday, possibly the best holiday. Deb, what are your thoughts? I'm joined here with my wife, Deb, to talk about Thanksgiving, something that often is a distraction for me.
You almost wanted to skip this episode.
Well,
why would you want to skip the episode of your favorite holiday?
Because there's something about Thanksgiving that's so untainted by just like everything. Like there's no there's nothing. I mean, so Thanksgiving really boils down to just good food, good people, having fun. And it's almost
yeah.
You know, and it's almost like by talking about it, it's almost like you're inviting the world in. It's like cheapening it. Is that true?
Oh.
Okay, anyway, no, I
if it is in your mind.
No, this is great. I'm glad we're doing this, Deb.
Okay.
So I really enjoy Thanksgiving, Deb. I've said to the kids, I think it's my favorite holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just one you don't have to decorate for it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a Scrooge when it comes to decorating sometimes.
You don't like to decorate.
You can spend the time just kind of like doing the things you want to do, like with your family around, right?
It's true. Your perfect Thanksgiving celebration, would it last sun up to sundown?
Oh, so here's the thing. I love Thanksgiving. Some of the things I hate most in life is waiting for really good food. So there is a part of me, a part of me that doesn't like the fact that a lot of times Thanksgiving you show up, but the food, like I think some of the most dreaded things my grandma would ever say is, all right, we're going to eat at 1:00 p.m.
I know. And then,
isn't that just a disaster to hear?
Especially as a kid, you're like, what am I going to do for 2 or 3 hours?
Right, yeah. We show up at, 9:30, 10 o'clock. And, everybody, I mean, God bless everybody who has worked so hard for those meals. My grandma and my mom and really so many people in my family are working so hard to get this meal ready. And
and you don't want to eat at 10 anyway.
No,
but it's like...
I mean, you kind of do, though, right?
No, you don't.
All right.
Eat a good breakfast, Luke. Eat a good breakfast.
That is just a classic Thanksgiving era. You do not eat breakfast on Thanksgiving Day.
Don't.
No way.
I disagree.
No, I mean, you're just wrong. I mean, you need to go into that 1 p.m. meal ravenous so that when you eat it tastes so good.
Okay. Well,
all right. Well, so Deb, what I want to do...
Different strokes,
that's right.
Different folks.
So what we're going to do here, Deb, we're going to take just a few minutes to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving. There's a couple things I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
So, first of all...
There's a couple things I want to ask you about, too.
Oh, okay. Do you want to start with yours?
Yeah, I do.
Let's hear it.
So... No, but I mean, kind of what I was getting at earlier. Do you think your perfect Thanksgiving day would be from sun up to sundown? And I know that you really, really, really look forward to that meal.
I do.
And so, aside from the fact that you don't like waiting for it, would you still like to have an entire day of Thanksgiving celebration? And what would it be like besides the meal at some point?
I'm going to say yes, because here's my reasoning for this is because I really enjoy a Thanksgiving meal. Just the material that's there, the portion size that's acceptable, all of those things are right up my alley. I will say one of my favorite things, and maybe this will get into food a little bit, my favorite thing about Thanksgiving meal is there is nothing on your plate that cannot be covered in gravy.
Yeah.
You can just take the ladle and you just run it across the whole business.
A person might do that.
Oh, that's something a person could do. And then you have a separate plate for your sweets and things like that.
Okay.
But the reason I would say yes, I want it to be an all-day activity because I love eating Thanksgiving lunch, but I also love eating Thanksgiving food later that day.
Okay, so you would have 2 meals.
Right, yeah. So you have your
2 large
your
meals.
hot Thanksgiving, ready to go, table spread, everything's there. You eat that, and then you put it away after you're all done, and then you go back and you make yourself a Thanksgiving sandwich afterwards, which this is what you do.
A few a few hours later.
Like this is like supper time. You're talking like maybe if you've eaten at 1, maybe you're eating again at 7 or something like that, or 7:30. Yeah. And so you get out the turkey, you get out some of the rolls, you get out some of the gravy and mashed potatoes and dressing. You get that out and you reheat it all, and you can eat all of it like a sandwich. You can have a roll with turkey meat, some stuffing on top of the turkey meat, potatoes on top of that, put the top bun on, and then cover it in gravy, and then eat it with a fork. It's a Thanksgiving sandwich. And, Deb, it's delicious.
Okay. So, Luke, all of your explanation has been about food.
That's you. Well,
I'm serious.
Okay, and also, I would like to spend a day with my family.
I mean, would it be the whole day? And so far, your whole day would be eating.
Let me say, so obvious, if I just had a wonderfully prepared Thanksgiving meal to eat all by myself, well, now that I say it. No, it wouldn't. No. A big part of it is eating with my family. And just because you get to just chill. Oh, man, you just get to eat, and then you just get to chill.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, eat, and then what is the chilling?
Well, so like you eat and you just kind of luxuriate in the eating process.
Okay.
But then, and this is more my family, but what we would always do is we would eat, and then after we ate, we'd let the food settle, and then...
My goodness! Say something else.
Say
what
something
else?
Besides eating.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would eat, and then after the food settled, we would go out and play a game of tackle, all-out, sprint, tackle football.
Oh my!
I know, Deb. This tradition has kind of changed because I think we've gotten older, and maybe we have like more little kids, and so that hasn't really made sense.
Yeah.
But like you participated in some of those.
I got tackled and hurt 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not like a permanent body injury, but like somebody tackled you hard.
It was like make you mad. Like, why are we playing this hard? Like, why?
That's a great question. You know what it is? I think the reason is because my dad and uncle grew up on a farm, and just from the stories I hear, they just beat the snot out of each other. That's all they did.
Okay.
Is, they got sent outside, and say they would do things like throw corn knives at each other and just, farm kid stuff.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
But I think, and so when it came time to like play football, they're like, let's play full on tackle. And at first we were kids. And so it was the adults kind of, tackling the kids half-heartedly, and maybe going a little bit harder with each other. But then it got to the point where like we were high schoolers and in actually playing football. Mm-hmm. And so when it came time to play, we're like, well, I'm playing this for realsies. And you don't want to go down because you get competitive. And then all of a sudden you're running hard, they're running hard, and you just...
I can't even take it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a big part of the day too, is the tackle football game. But that's kind of gone by the wayside as we have very young children. Although, who knows, maybe when the kids get bigger, they're going to want to play tackle again.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. It's not safe.
Oh, but what is really?
It's just not.
In the however many years we played, I don't think anybody ever got an injury that permanently affected them that I know of. Maybe they did. I don't know. Yeah, we definitely had some injuries that like took people out of the game. It's like, you just get knocked over. And a lot of my extended family are like much tougher than me. I played sports, but like I also am a very soft boy. Like, like I'm an indoor kid. And so like them coming from their
grown man.
Yeah, them coming from their farm experiences where they're used to tackling cattle and I'm not.
23-year-old
and 23-year-old girls.
Anyway.
They probably held back. If you would have really been hit, like
I'm just saying. Yeah. I was like,
it was a bit much for you.
First Thanksgiving with the Demarest family, and I got laid out.
Yeah. All right, so
that was also in Rapid City.
Yeah,
you've been to Rapid City quite a few times for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we also traveled for Thanksgiving a lot, which is a big part of that.
We haven't done that in
a long time,
maybe 10 years.
All right, so Deb, I'm going to turn it over to you now. So
okay.
So these are my questions for you, Deb. First of all, what food needs to be at a Thanksgiving meal for you?
Rolls.
Just rolls.
I love the rolls, and I love the homemade rolls that your
aunt.
I remember your aunt would make just really yummy homemade rolls, and my aunt
Oh, really?
Yeah, growing up, would always make just really good rolls. I loved those. I also like mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And I don't really like the gravy that comes up with Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
I like the gravy that my mom makes with fried chicken.
Oh, sure.
But that's really the...
All right.
Yeah, so I don't usually have gravy for Thanksgiving.
You don't have gravy. Man, that's like...
I usually pass that by.
Might be my main course. All right, so you rolls and potatoes. I can see that. Make sure
get
that's
the carbs.
Yeah, get those in.
Recently I've started making, and this recipe came from my mom, but I started making a corn casserole, and I really like having that at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Your mom said this year she wants to make a corn casserole, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm kind of excited to see what that means.
What it is. Yeah, what does that even mean?
But I've never grown up with like the yam, sweet potato pie. No.
Yeah.
Stuffing. I don't really enjoy stuffing.
I like stuffing.
I know you do.
It seems like it's the only time it's okay to eat it. If I were to buy a box of stovetop stuffing and just make it for myself in July, people would think I'm a criminal.
I think that's crazy. Do you have a craving for stuffing in the middle of the year?
So here's the thing about stuffing. I never have a craving for it unless it's in front of me, and that's all I can think about.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it is like, oh wait, I love stuffing, and I never get to eat it.
Really?
Yeah, and homemade or right out of the box, like stovetop, any of that stuff. Yeah, some stuffing with some gravy.
I can't handle it.
Oh,
I think it's the texture.
Yeah, it's like bread, but kind of soggy bread, but flavorful soggy bread.
Sure. Yeah.
It's good stuff. All right, so Deb, the necessary foods. What
turkey?
Turkey. Okay.
I suppose.
Okay, sure. Add that to the list. All right, necessary company.
Oh,
you're like, all right, you're gonna be spending some time together. If you're doing this my way, you're spending all day together.
Well, and that's the debate. Is like, I've been to Thanksgiving celebrations before that last all day.
Yeah, right.
For a weekend, like when we went to Rapid City.
Oh yeah.
But recently, it seems like our Thanksgiving celebrations have been for about 4 hours.
Okay, we have
or 5.
Little kids.
Would you say?
That's a lot.
Yeah,
lot to ask.
Life changes.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask of kids.
And that, that'll probably change again. It'll get longer, or maybe we'll start hosting our own. Maybe we'll start doing our own family dinner. Like, I have never...
We're talking about like when our kids are grown and have...
we'll have to do it then for sure. But I have never made a turkey.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been in charge of a Thanksgiving meal.
Nor have I, Deb.
So,
I've made green bean casserole.
Yep, that's what we're in charge of this year.
I can buy some of those. What are those Kiwana rolls? King's Hawaiian.
Hawaiian.
Yeah,
Hawaiian.
I can buy some of those.
Yeah, you could buy some of those. Those are good, but I prefer those. Taste a little too sweet for me.
All right.
Anyway,
yeah.
What was the question? Necessary company?
Yeah.
Well, you guys for sure.
Who's you guys? Your family.
Who's we? You and
thanks.
the kids.
Oh, that's nice.
And I think it just would not feel complete if we were not with one of our sides of the family.
Right, extended family.
Some kind of extended family.
Yeah, wouldn't that be weird? I mean, I think it would just be so anticlimactic at this point in our lives to have a Thanksgiving meal with just our family, wouldn't it? Uh-huh. There's something about it that would just be like, you just need to have more than just your immediate family.
Yeah, it just feels weird if that's what you're used to. Yeah. Now, I know there's people that are just always away from their family on Thanksgiving, and they do other things. Right. But yeah, that would be strange for us.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Deb, what about your absolute must-have activity? Like besides the meal, we've established we're always going to eat with a Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah.
We don't need to talk about eating anymore.
I like playing games. I like watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Okay. I do. I like having that on. And it's just a fun thing to have on in the background. And then usually there's some kind of conversation that happens with the distraction of the parade.
Sure.
I also like to play games. So it's really fun for me if there's some kind of activity that involves not football. It's not my favorite. Okay. It's not necessary. But I also think it's kind of fun, if it's a nice day, to go out for a walk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, outside for a walk.
Yeah.
I mean, football is kind of a walk, and then you run a little bit, and then you walk.
Yeah.
So it's an outdoor.
It's active.
Yeah, okay. Some outdoor or some game time, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good Thanksgiving.
Is there any food that's just you could let all the others go, but you have to have this one thing?
Oh man. I mean, for me, it's probably either. I mean, if it's a must-have, I feel like it's either the turkey or potatoes.
Oh, okay.
I
yeah.
feel like those are my like. Even though like I like the thing that I'm because you can have turkey other times during the year and you can have potatoes other times during the year. I think the reason that stuffing came out so strong early in my conversation, in my debate about Thanksgiving foods, is that it's just not something you normally have. Like, but anyway, I think if I'm like, all right, I've got to have like one or two things, and that's all I'm ever going to get. I'm just going to like, some good turkey some good potatoes. I mean,
and gravy.
Gravy is like a given. Like if either of those things are without gravy, it's kind of like, oh, like this is like halfway there. It's just not.
Yeah.
But,
what about activity or people?
oh, I mean, I like football. I like playing football. I like games. Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of just as the years have gone by, I've kind of come into just like trying to find quirky board games or party games to play. I kind of like that. It's a good time to do it. People are done. It's kind of like you've got a captive audience, so it's your time to break out your weird stuff and be like, all right, now we're gonna do this stupid thing because you're stuck here for another 2 hours while you digest. So I kind of like that about
or not so weird stuff. The thing like your favorite game from the year.
Yeah, favorite board game or whatever. All right, Deb. Well, thanks for joining me.
Well, any like classic Thanksgiving memory, like one that like sticks out to you?
Oh, I think some of my fondest memories are driving to Rapid, that long trip. We would drive it, and it'd be right after school. We'd just take off, and my parents had a big conversion van. It was like an Econoline van, but it was converted into like this like really nice seating. We take all the seats out, fill the whole cargo area with just pillows and like soft beanbag type things, and then we would bring our power inverter, plug it into the cigarette lighter, and then I would bring like a tube TV, like a CRT TV, a tube TV, and like plug my gaming system into it, or like something. We just went to these extreme lengths to be able to like watch TV because it was a 10-hour drive, and we just find any way possible to like watch TV or like
and to like not just have to sit
right,
there.
Exactly. Or I bring a computer and like I would like. We would try to connect the computers and have a network game, like a LAN party in the van while it's driving. Or I remember one year I just played Halo, brought my Xbox, a tube TV, and all the stuff, and set up this 27-inch TV in our Econoline van, and just sat there and played Halo on the drive.
And it was like a slumber party.
Yeah, and it is literally like a slumber party, like because there would always be a couple extra people who'd come to Thanksgiving, like always some friends or somebody, and so everybody's laid out all over these blankets in this big van with carpet on the walls and all that business.
I don't think I ever experienced the whole, remove all the seats.
Right. I think at that point in time, maybe some kids were coming and we're like, all right, we need to have seatbelts. We can't we were kids, it's like, man, just all lay down. Doesn't matter if we got in a wreck. I mean, it would just be like a blender in there with all the stuff we were carrying, but.
Oh man. Well, my birthday was close enough to Thanksgiving that I remember having my birthday on Thanksgiving.
Oh man.
And
is that a good memory or a bad memory?
Well, it's kind of, I don't ever remember it fondly. Okay. Like it was always just kind of like, this is what we're doing today. It's decided for you. Sure. But it was always a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Because it was fun everything. And Mom would make a cake and there would be a present. And if it was a year that we were able to like have a party, because we didn't get to have a party every year, but we just would do it on a different day. Oh, so, and then some years, Thanksgiving at Grandma's house was on our birthday, and that was, it's when you're growing up and like, it's always kind of, I don't know, maybe you never had that experience that like, it was always just kind of like, okay, we're going to Grandma's and we don't necessarily feel comfortable, or
nope, that was never
everybody very well.
That was never my experience. We spent a lot of time with,
You knew your cousins pretty well.
Yeah.
I, of course, feel a ton differently about everybody and everything now, but at the time it was like, oh, I have to like get in the car and do this on my birthday, kind of. Anyway.
So.
But time well spent.
Sure.
And I'm glad I did it now because there's sweet memories, and we had to. There was no choice.
That's right. All right. Well, Deb, thank you for joining me for this special Thanksgiving episode.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy your turkey and potatoes and casseroles.
And be thankful.
Be thankful.
Be thankful for the time that you get with Grandma and Grandpa. And
That's
Mom and
true.
Dad. I mean, really, I am thankful for that time. Good memories, good times. Enjoy, everyone.
All right, everybody, enjoy your Thanksgiving.